You ever think maybe the planet's had enough? Like Earth's just sitting there, spinning quietly in space, looking at humanity and thinking, you know what, I've had it. I gave you trees, oceans, fresh air, sunshine, food, and you turned it into traffic debt and reality TV. I want a divorce. You can almost hear it sighing somewhere between the earthquakes and hurricanes, like a parent who finally realizes their kids are never moving out. Because let's be honest, humans haven't exactly been great tenants. They moved in rent-free a few 100,000 years ago, and since then they've treated the place like a cheap motel. Trash everywhere, noise at all hours, plumbing clogged with plastic. You can't even blame the planet for being cranky. Imagine letting someone live in your house, and they start drilling holes in the walls and setting fire to the curtains. And when you complain, they tell you it's progress. Oh, don't worry, Earth. This oil spill is good for the economy. The planet's been patient, real patient. It watched the dinosaurs come and go without saying a word. It watched ice ages roll through, comets crash, continents drift. Not a complaint. Then humans showed up with their smartphones and leaf blowers, and suddenly Earth's like, nope, that's it. I'm done. And the thing is, humans keep acting like they own the place. They talk about us saving the planet, but what they really mean is saving themselves. The Earth doesn't need saving. It'll be fine. Been here for billions of years. Survived asteroids, volcanoes, and cosmic radiation. You think a few plastic bottles and diesel trucks are gonna take it down? Please. The planet's got time. Humans are the ones running out of it. They say, oh, we have to protect the environment. The environment? Buddy, you are the environment. You're part of it. You don't protect it. You depend on it. The planet's not some separate thing out there. You're made of the same dirt, water, and molecules as the rest of it. You're just a slightly louder, more arrogant version of mud. But humans don't get that. They think of Earth like it's a theme park. We'll just visit, have some fun, take some pictures, and leave our trash behind. You go camping. You leave garbage. You go to the beach. You leave plastic. You drive to work. You leave exhaust. Everywhere humans go, something dies. Usually the mood. And every time nature fights back, humans act surprised. Oh no, a hurricane. What a tragedy. Yeah, it's called feedback, pal. You pump billions of tons of carbon into the sky, and the sky starts throwing tantrums. You cut down the forests and then complain the air feels weird. You poison the water, and then wonder why your fish glow in the dark. The planet's not attacking. It's just cleaning house. You can almost imagine the Earth talking to itself. I've tried being nice. I've tried subtle. I gave him droughts, floods, wildfires, locusts, viruses. Nothing gets through. I did. Guess I'll just crank up the thermostat and see what happens. It's like a cosmic eviction notice written in heat waves. And humans still don't get it. They think they can outsmart the planet with technology. But don't worry, we'll fix it with science. Yeah, the same science that gave you plastic, pesticides, and nuclear waste. The same genius that thought leaded gasoline was a good idea. You don't fix a problem with the same brain that created it. That's like hiring the arsonist to rebuild your house. But that's the human way. They don't adapt. They patch. Every solution creates 3 new problems. You invent cars, then you invent smog. You invent air conditioning to cool off from the smog, which makes the smog worse. Then you invent electric cars to fix the smog, and now you're digging up half the planet for lithium. It's like trying to cure a headache by banging your head on the wall. And the funniest part, humans think they're saving the Earth by recycling soda cans. They'll burn 10,000 gallons of jet fuel flying to a climate conference to talk about sustainability over champagne. They build electric cars powered by coal, paper straws wrapped in plastic, and call it eco-friendly. They think carrying a tote bag is going to undo centuries of industrial sabotage. I'm green now. I brought my own cup. Yeah, great, Brenda. Tell that to the rainforest. Every little environmental gesture is like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. We planted a few trees. You cut down 1 million. We banned plastic straws. You still have floating continents of garbage in the ocean. Humans treat the planet like a subscription service. Oh, we'll just renew Earth next year. Sorry, no refunds, no replacements. When this one's gone, you don't get another. Mars is not your backup drive. But oh, they love to fantasize about escaping, don't they? We'll colonize other planets. Yeah, because that's worked out so well here. You can't even maintain a public restroom, but you think you're ready for interplanetary travel? You'll move to Mars, forget to pay rent, and end up with space landlords. Humans don't fix problems, they relocate them. If they ever do settle another planet, give it 50 years, they'll have traffic taxes and reality shows there too. They're keeping up with the Martians. You know what's really ironic? The Earth was perfect. It had everything: food, air, beauty, balance. And humans looked at it and said, let's improve it. Like remodeling the Mona Lisa because you think it needs a mustache. They paved over paradise, put up parking lots, then wondered why they're depressed. The trees used to give shade and fruit. Now they give you paper for lawsuits. And they justify it all with words like a progress and a development. Two of the most dangerous words in the language. A progress just means moving faster toward disaster. A development means turning something natural into something profitable. Humans think if it's not producing money, it's wasted space. A forest is useless until you cut it down. A mountain's worthless until you mine it. A river's nothing until you bottle it. It's like they can't see value unless it's got a price tag. The planet, on the other hand, doesn't care about money. You can't bribe a volcano. You can't negotiate with a hurricane. You can't sue an earthquake. Nature doesn't take checks. It doesn't care about your GDP, your borders, your ideologies. It just is. And when it's had enough, it presses the reset button. Slowly, quietly, patiently, then all at once. And that's exactly what's happening. You can see it everywhere. Floods in one place, droughts in another, heat waves, melting ice, species disappearing faster than reality stars. The planet's making changes. It's adapting. You're not. Earth isn't dying, it's shedding. Like a snake losing old skin, the only problem is you're the skin. And yet, humans still think they're in charge. They strut around talking about managing the planet or controlling nature, engineering the climate, as if they can boss around a 4-billion-year-old cosmic force. You can't even manage your email inbox, and you think you're gonna manage the weather? You can't stop your neighbor's dog from barking, and you think you're gonna regulate carbon cycles. The arrogance is astronomical. But that's what makes humans funny. They destroy everything they touch, but they do it with confidence. No hesitation, no doubt. They'll blow up a mountain to mine coal, then name a high school after it. They'll poison a river, then build a spa next to it. They'll burn down forests, then complain there's too much carbon. It's poetic in a suicidal kind of way, and you have to wonder what the animals think of all this. Imagine the whales, the elephants, the birds, just watching humans and shaking their heads. These idiots can't even share food and they think they're the smartest species. Animals kill when they have to. Humans kill when they're bored. They hunt for sport, for trophies, for entertainment. They'll kill something beautiful just to post it online. The planet gave them abundance, and they turned it into competition. And humans always think they're separate from nature, like they're above it. They talk about it returning to nature like it's a vacation. Newsflash, you never left. You're still animals. Just animals with better toys and worse instincts. You live in boxes, eat chemicals, stare at screens, and call it civilization. But underneath the suits and smartphones, you're still the same hairless ape trying to survive. You just forgot how to do it without destroying everything else. And somehow in all this chaos, humans invented guilt about it. Oh, they love to feel guilty. It makes them feel righteous. Well, I feel so bad about the environment, they say, as they drive their SUV to yoga class. They cry about the polar bears but can't recycle a bottle. They hashtag to save the planet while wearing clothes made by factories dumping dye into rivers. They treat environmentalism like a hobby, a trend, not a transformation. And of course, the politicians get in on it. Every election, same promise. We'll go green? Sure you will, right after you finish cashing checks from oil companies. We'll reduce emissions. Yeah, by outsourcing them to another country. It's all talk. Because real change doesn't win votes. Fear does. And humans would rather be scared than responsible. They love a crisis they can ignore until it's too late. You know what the planet probably loves most, the irony. Humans keep calling it a Mother Earth, but they treat it like a stepmom they never wanted. They take, they complain, they never say thank you. They expect her to clean up after every mess. And somehow, she does. She absorbs the poison, grows back, heals, regenerates, until one day she won't. Because even mothers get tired. Even nature runs out of patience. And when that day comes, the planet won't explode. It won't scream or punish. It'll just move on. Quiet. A few degrees hotter, a few oceans higher, a few species gone. It'll shake the fleas off its back, take a deep breath, and start over. New forms of life, new balance, no more noise. It's done it before. It'll do it again. The Earth doesn't need humans. Humans need Earth. That's the punchline of the whole cosmic joke. You think you're the masters of creation, but you're just guests who overstayed their welcome. You built skyscrapers but forgot roots. You mapped the stars but lost your connection to the soil. You created gods in your image, but forgot the one that actually keeps you alive, the one under your feet. So maybe the planet isn't angry. Maybe it's just disappointed, watching its favorite experiment self-destruct in the name of progress. It gave you paradise, you asked for Wi-Fi. It gave you sunsets. You built billboards. It gave you silence. You filled it with traffic. And now it's gently nudging you out the door saying, thanks for visiting. Please take your garbage on the way out. And that's the thing. Maybe the end won't be dramatic. No explosions, no apocalypses, no final warnings. Just silence. One day the noise will stop. The smoke will clear. The skyscrapers will crumble. And the forests will come back. The oceans will clean themselves. The animals will return. The air will smell sweet again. And the planet will keep spinning like nothing happened. Because do it, nothing did. It was just a phase. A short, noisy, self-destructive phase called humanity. And in the grand story of the universe, that's all humans ever were. A brief loud interruption in eternity's quiet symphony. The earth will erase their footprints, recycle their bones, and whisper to the stars, they meant well. They just didn't listen. So at some point after the whole creation fiasco, humans decided they needed to organize their confusion. Too many questions, not enough answers, and way too much free time. They looked around at the sun, the moon, the thunder, and thought, all right, somebody's clearly running this operation. Let's find out who's in charge. And just like that, religion was born. Not out of enlightenment, but because humans couldn't handle mystery without turning it into management. You can almost see the first brainstorming session, a bunch of cavemen sitting around a fire staring at lightning. One guy says, that's got to be the work of something big, something powerful, something invisible. Another guy nods and says, yeah, maybe if we're nice to it, it won't fry us. And boom, prayer, the original insurance policy. They didn't know what caused lightning, so they figured better play it safe. Offer a little dance, kill a goat, burn some herbs. Anything to make the big invisible landlord happy. It was simple at first. A relationship between man and mystery. Gratitude, awe, maybe a little fear. But humans can't leave anything simple. They start adding structure, hierarchy, titles. We need a spokesperson for God, someone said. We need someone who can interpret what the Almighty really meant. And right there you had your first priest, the original middleman. The first guy to look up at the sky and say, yeah, he told me something special. But it'll cost you. And once people realized you could make a living out of translating God, oh, it was game over. The divine went corporate overnight. Suddenly you had uniforms, rituals, branding, slogans. Our God loves you more. Our heaven's got better seats. It became the original franchise model. They turned the infinite into an industry complete with logos, PR, and a marketing plan. Worship became less about spirit and more about subscription. Pay your dues, follow the plan, renew annually. And people bought it because fear sells. Nothing moves product like eternity. You tell someone their soul's on the line and suddenly they'll pay any price. They give us 10% of your income, and we'll make sure your afterlife looks like a 5-star resort. Humans turned salvation into a business model with no refunds. The whole system runs on invisible promises and monthly donations. You've got to hand it to them. That's genius. That's divine-level marketing. And the best part? Nobody has to deliver the product. You don't need warehouses, shipping, or returns. You just sell hope. Intangible, unprovable, but emotionally irresistible. It's like a celestial pyramid scheme. You buy into it, recruit your friends, spread the word, and maybe if you're lucky, you'll reach paradise. Nah? It's the only business where the customer dies before realizing whether they got what they paid for. But humans didn't stop there. They started competing. Our version of God is better than yours. Our rules make more sense. Our miracles have more special effects. And that's when things got truly wild. Every tribe, every nation, every era came up with its own divine brand identity. Different names, same customer base. You've got gods of war, gods of love, gods of fertility, gods of rain, gods of lost car keys, you name it. And every one of them had a priest, a temple, and a donation box. It's amazing how fast worship turned into business. You could almost chart the rise of organized religion the same way you chart the rise of corporation. It starts with one guy having a vision, then a group of followers, then a building, then property, then tax exemption. Before you know it, the message is secondary, the money's primary. The sermon becomes marketing. The collection plate becomes revenue. And faith becomes customer loyalty. Now don't get me wrong. Belief isn't the problem. Humans need belief. They need something to hold on to when life feels like a cosmic joke. But somewhere along the way, belief got rebranded. It stopped being personal and started being profitable. You used to look up at the sky and feel wonder. Now you look up and see a billboard for salvation. The business of belief is so good it's recession-proof. Doesn't matter if the economy crashes, people still want to hedge their bets on the afterlife. You can lose your job, your house, your mind, but you'll still find cash for tithes because what if you're wrong? What if there really is a VIP section in eternity and your name's not on the list? That's fear-based marketing at its finest. Humans even started licensing morality. They turned goodness into a trademark. Every religion says the same thing. Be kind, don't steal, don't murder, love your neighbor. But they all claim exclusive rights to the slogan. Yes, our path to kindness is the real one. Everyone else's version comes with hidden fees and eternal damnation. They all promise spiritual peace, but only after you join their loyalty program. And it's funny how similar religious institutions are to corporations. They've got CEOs called popes, imams, rabbis, gurus. They've got middle management, bishops, deacons, elders. They've got brand ambassadors, missionaries, and evangelists. They've got mascots, saints' idol statues. They've even got jingles. And like any good business, they know how to rebrand for the times. New generation, new slogan, new translation, new app. Because even the eternal needs a modern user interface. Think about it. We've reached the point where you can tithe online. You can pray through PayPal. You can send your sins to the cloud. Literally. Somewhere out there, there's a pastor live streaming salvation in 4K, forgiveness brought to you by fiber optics. They even have merch, t-shirts, mugs, candles. Humans can't have anything sacred without slapping a price tag on it. You can buy holy water on Amazon, sanctified crystals on Etsy, and if you've got enough money, you can book a private tour of your own soul. And they say money can't buy happiness. But apparently it can buy redemption. The more you pay, the more blessed you are. It's a spiritual tax bracket. The rich get custom-made salvation packages. The poor get told to be grateful for suffering. Blessed are the meek, they say. Yeah, blessed and broke. The whole idea is rigged like divine capitalism. You spend your whole life working, paying, repenting, and by the time you're ready to cash in your spiritual investment, boom, you're dead. No receipt, no guarantee, no customer service line. Your prayer is important to us. Please stay on the line.